Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of No Man's Sky. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Ball here today. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. Don't forget to leave a comment and a like on the video down below. Let me know what you think of it, and share us on social media. It is always appreciated. Alright, so, yeah, we're never going to have Captain Beefaroni back. That was just me goofing around, having a good old time playing with my heritage. But we are going to stick with the theme of cooking because I think cooking is severely underutilized in the game. And I'd like to take a look at some of the different things you can make, different dishes you can make. And we're going to start with some real basics on what to do with flour. Now, flour, again, if you didn't watch the last one, can be refined from either heptaploid wheat or from frost crystals. They break down into glass shards or something like that, and then that can be further refined. So it's a two-step process for the frost crystals, one step for the wheat, but you can grow frost crystals at your base, which makes them far more convenient to have around. Okay, that's how you get the flour. Now, for sugar, that comes from sweet root. One refining, boom, brings it down to sugar. Or if you do cactus flesh twice, first it gives you cactus juice and or something like that, and then after that you can refine it down to sugar. That's how you get that. And the butter, of course, and the eggs, you're going to have to go out and earn those. And one of the best ways to do that is to set up on a base where there's a lot of animals around, like this one. There's always animals around here. Put down an automatic feeder. Make sure you got some creature pellets in it and let it run for a while. And as you can see, we build up a lot of eggs and milk in there. The milk can be refined into cream, and the eggs, well, we'll see what we're going to do with them here shortly. All right. So first things first, we're going to start making some basic combinations with the flour. We're going to take some flour, and we're going to take some, we're going to take some churned butter. Oh, yeah, let's do that. All right, so we got refined flour and churned butter. That makes a basic pastry. We'll take some churned butter and some sugar, and that'll make sweetened butter. All right, now in here we're going to get some wild yeast and some flour, and that's going to make dough. While that's cooking up, we've got our pastry done. We'll pull that out. We've got our sweetened butter. We can put that here. Mix that with, I believe it's flour and egg. Look at that. You get cake batter. Pretty sweet, right? So now let's look at our stuff here and kind of try to keep this organized a little bit here. It does help if you can do something to organize your stuff while you're working on that. But in any case, we got our dough going. Perfect. Perfect. All right, while that's cooking up, we are going to take some egg and some processed sugar. Let's go ahead and grab another stack of eggs. And that's going to make a delicate meringue. Isn't that awesome? All right, we didn't have anything going there. All right, so let's look back. Cake batter's almost done, as is the dough and the meringue. We'll be back. All right, so we've got a batch of delicate meringue going on, and it's done. I've got another one I'm making, but we're going to take this and we're going to refine this even further. And we're going to add some flour to it and some egg. And let's see what that gives us. Extra fluffy batter. All right, let's let that cook up and we'll see what we get out of all that. Alright, so now we've got regular old pastry, cake batter, extra fluffy batter, delicate meringue, and dough. We still have a bunch of sugar, butter, and flour left over so that we can refine this stuff further. So next thing we're going to need to do is take these things and make them into something kind of cool. And I'm going to try to use stuff that I have here and only stuff that I have here. So I can make cactus jelly, and I can make cream, and that will allow us to take the extra fluffy batter and make it into a soft and spiky surprise. Or I could make fur ball jelly. I have some leopard fruit, and mix that with processed sugar and make a jam fluffer, which sounds pretty foul. So there's a lot of things that we can do with that. I can take crab apples and mix it with the batter, and that'll get us an angelic fruit cake. That's a nice simple one. So we'll go ahead. That'll be one thing that we're going to do. All right. All right, so the pastry itself, we're just going to whip those up into pie cases. That's a 1-for-1. Nothing else needs to be involved with that, so it's basically a two-step process taking it into a pie case. After we have the pie case, we're going to make pie. So let's see, what can we make that we have the stuff here for? There's tons and tons of different pies. So I could take something like steamed vegetables and make a high fiber pie. I could use processed meat, make a mystery meat pie. A lot of different ways to make that. I could do a fruity pudding with pilgrim berries, which we can, I believe, refine from something we have here. I'm not 100% sure. I have to check with that. I could make a glowing pie. I could get some solartillo by refining some of the solarinium. So there's quite a few different things we can do, and we'll pick one out and get it going. Like I said, I want to keep things here that that I'm growing here. So let's do that. Let's take some of this. We'll get the solartillo going, and when that's done, we'll put the pastry in there, and that'll be the next thing we make. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. I had to make a couple one minor change, and that was this first, using this extra fluffy batter. I was going to use those, they're bone apples or whatever, and I realized I did not get those from this location, so I went with an extra fluffy cream cake, which uses just basic cream, which you make from processing milk, wild milk or fresh milk, which we got here. Here's our pie case and our solartillo. We're going to make those into glowing pies. And we got the cactus nectar and the cake batter. We're going to make those into esophageal surprise. That sounds questionable at best. And then here's our most complicated one, the lumpen donut. And if you watched the video last night, I know we made some of those with the clarified oil, dough, and processed sugar. So you can refer back to that on how to get the clarified oil. But all of these dishes came from this farm and a simple feeder and livestock unit. Just like that. It was very, very easy. You know, and they're very, very basic. We can go a little crazier next time. We'll make some more advanced dishes and all that, but for now, this is what we've got. So we'll stick around and check back and see what these four things do for us, what they are valued at monetarily, and then, as always, remember, you can take them up to Kronos on the Anomaly and trade them in for nanites. It's a very tedious process. There's a lot quicker ways to make nanites, but you know, if push comes to shove and that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Food's good because it can do a lot of different things for you. It can heal you, it can replenish your hazard protection, it can replenish your life support. You know, there's a lot of things it can do. It's almost worthwhile keeping a small stack of something that will heal you in the event that you're going out and maybe you're going to be doing missions that require you to take on sentinels and you don't want to get beat up too bad. You can, on the fly, eat a little bit of food and recover your health, because the only other way to recover your health is to find a little health thing out in the wild, or get back to a base or your freighter where you have the little machine on the wall that will restore your health. So those are your only real choices at this point. So having a food that will recover that, and that's kind of cool. The good old esophageal surprise. And some of this stuff can be refined down even further, which is wild. You know, like you remember we made these donuts into something else last night. So I'm not going to get rid of any of these things I made tonight. I'm going to keep them, and we'll see if there's something else we can make out of them. But right now, let's take a look and see what a stack of each of these is worth. Let's get them all in order up here. Unwind pie, a surprise, and the donut. So starting off with the fluffy cream cake, you know, a little over $1 million there. And $2 million for the glowing pie. That's nice. Wow, almost $3 million for the esophageal surprise, and the donuts is $2.4 million. So there is some value to these things. You know, there's definitely some value to them, and they're worth having. This one will restore 50% of your hazard protection. This one will give you 8 seconds of jetpack overload. This one, 15 seconds sprint overload. And this one doesn't really have anything that it does, but okay, that's fine. So, yeah, pretty wild, right? And even some stuff like this, like flour. If you just eat a handful of flour, you get 20% life support power. I mean, how easy is it to make flour and keep a stack of that? You know, if you're running low on your life support, you don't have oxygen. I mean, yeah, granted, it's easy to have the oxygen and all that, but oh, we got a delicate meringue left. Maybe let's see if we can make one more thing. I'll come back and we'll see if we can make one bonus dish. I don't know how I missed that there. Alright, so it looks like we can mix this with some extra fluffy batter. And that'll give us yeah, a little bit of flour, that delicate meringue and cream egg. We'll make another batch of the extra fluffy batter, and this time we're gonna mix that with some cactus nectar. So let's see how that turns out and what we get from that, and then we're gonna wrap it on up today. And next time we get together for a cooking lesson, we're gonna try a different style of cooking. Maybe we'll look more toward meats or stews or something like that. This was basically everything you can get here, easy to find at my farm. So this was a real easy one to put together, all things considered. I have to go out hunting for a variety of different meats, or we'll mess around with hypnotic eyes, and I think larval cores can do some cool stuff too, although I think they just substitute as the eggs, if I'm not mistaken. So let's get our cactus nectar. You ever have those words? Yeah, sometimes words. They can just be so challenging. Alright. Get that back in our suit. Let's see, how's this coming along? Almost there. Almost there. Alright, so we'll show back up and check it out when it's just about finished and see what we get from the extra fluffy batter and the cactus nectar. Alright, here we go. A soft and spiky surprise. That sounds quite dangerous. Highly refined food product. Okay. Well, we'll get that whipped up. Make sure all these are cleaned out. And then we will check how that stacks up against these other items that we made. I'll be interested to see how valuable it is. In the meantime, I'm just gonna whip up some milk and some cream and whatnot with what we got here. I think I used up all my cream. We got a little proto cream too, I thought, right? And we have proto milk. Yep. There's some warm proto milk. All right, we'll be back. All right, so here is our soft and spiky surprise. Like this one, it doesn't look like it does anything special, so it's just there to sell. But you know, $1 million for those, so not bad. If you got a farm like this and you want to make a little bit of money, I mean, again, there's easier ways to make money. There's easier ways to make nanites. The cooking is a very underrated and overlooked aspect of the game, and I get why. It's not hugely important to things, but I think it's quite fun. And with the addition of the living frigates and the fact that you can feed them and alter I believe it's the traits that they have to make them more powerful or give them different abilities, is pretty freaking awesome. So, you know, we're going to take some of these foods that we made today and we're going to go up to those living frigates and play around with them in another video and kind of clarify some of the stuff I went over in my previous video, which wasn't altogether 100% accurate. And I apologize for that, but we will have a follow-up video that will go into detail about that. So if you found anything useful here today, please give a like on the video and a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you ever do any cooking in the game? Are you interested in trying it now? Maybe making a small farm? This thing is excessively huge and obnoxious, but you know, you can get away with something much, much smaller. But for, you know, I was just having fun that day I built this thing. So also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so you are always informed of when a new video drops. And if you share us on social media, it's greatly appreciated. I am Captain Beefy here with the Game Vault. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you next time.